Tesla just rolled out a brand new software update with some features we have been waiting months for that are finally here at long last in this all-new update. Plus, new Model Ys are rolling out of Giga Texas at an accelerated rate to customers, including an all-new model we haven't seen come out of Giga Texas before. Tesla is officially opening up the Supercharger Network to non-Tesla EVs with some special new hardware, and people are not happy at all, and I understand why. And I have a special Tesla conspiracy theory that no one is talking about, that if true, is sort of a really big deal. So let's discuss all the latest news, all the big events happening in the wild world of Tesla, tell you about all the new software updates, all the new features, and some big changes happening that you need to know about, both good and bad. Lots to get into, so let's just jump right into the biggest Tesla news of the week. Also, as always, a huge thanks to Into the Am for sponsoring this video. They are the makers of some beautiful, high-quality apparel that looks great, feels great, love what Into the Am is doing, but way more on them in a moment. So I've got some good news and some bad news to talk about here in this video, but let's start things off on a good note and fly through some of this more minor news and then get into the juicy drama. So first up, like I just mentioned, new Model Ys are rolling off of the Giga Texas factory floor and into customers' driveways at a more accelerated rate than what we saw just a few weeks ago. But now, in addition to the standard range Model Y, sort of this unicorn Tesla that you still cannot officially buy, Tesla is now also producing long range Model Ys from Giga Texas as well. That includes, of course, all the new major upgrades that are really great to see, some better fit and finish, but does have one big omission that many new owners and potential owners are very concerned about. And from the reports I've seen online from new owners who have received this car, the fit, finish, build quality, all that stuff is improved here and more refined from these Giga Texas made Model Ys and what was coming out of Fremont previously for the last several years. And new owners generally seem really happy with these new cars. And of course, they've got all the new Giga Texas 2022 goodies. They've got the Ryzen processor, heated wipers, double pane back windows, new lithium-ion batteries. All that stuff is great to see, but unlike the standard range, cheaper Model Y, this long-range model does not have the 4680 structural battery pack inside. Instead, in order to achieve this ramp up in production, Tesla is sticking just with the standard 2170 cells instead of this all-new battery technology and cell format. And look, I don't want to, nor am I going to get into the nitty-gritty of this stuff because I don't know the differences in the battery chemistry, and I'm not an expert or anything like that, but I will say sort of on a surface level here, for most people, I don't think not having the 4680s is the end of the world or a reason to delay delivery or refuse delivery. It's just not that big of a deal for many people out there unless you are a, hardcore Tesla enthusiast who knows you really want the benefits of this 4680 battery pack. And of course, the long-range Model Y should get it over time, but it seems like right now with this absolutely insane demand, Tesla is just sort of sticking with what they know. They're doing the 2170s and the long-range models, and then the 4680s are being reserved sort of in more limited runs in these standard range models. But of course, with time, all that stuff should iron itself out. Now, before we continue with more Tesla news, if you have been admiring the shirt I've been wearing, really any shirt I wear in any of my videos that look nice, there's a very good chance, like 100% chance, that they are made by this video sponsor, Into the AM. And if you have not heard of Into the AM before, let me introduce you to a company that has been making ultra comfortable and premium clothing since 2012 and is on a mission to help you express your energy, your creativity, your passions with some high quality apparel that looks great, that feels great, and just has some really awesome designs. And not only do I love wearing Into the AM apparel myself personally, but also I just love that they are sort of offering so many different options. If you're in the market for a graphic tee, you love colorful, vibrant ink and really cool designs, they've got you covered with some really awesome graphic tees. But also, if you're looking for something a little bit more basic, a little bit more subtle, their basic tees are also like my go-to, really nice, great fitting shirts that look great, feel great. And not only does Into the AM have an awesome collection of great looking, great feeling apparel on their site, but they've also got some great deals going on right now as well. Like you can pick up 3 basic tees for just $49.95, or 3 graphic tees, a really great choice here for just $60. If you want to learn more and check it out for yourself today, hit the link right down below or head to intotheam.com/Robert10 and use my special coupon code Robert10 at checkout to get 10% off your order. Work site-wide. I know you guys are going to love this, and I want to help you guys get some cool shirts and also save some money as well. So again, that link is down below, intotheam.com/Robert10. And again, use my special coupon code at checkout, Robert10, to get 10% off your order. And speaking of new Teslas, if you're looking to buy a new Tesla inside of Tesla's existing inventory of cars, First off, good luck because inventory is sparse and things are going in and out all the time, so be sure you're checking all the time. But second, there is some good news here because there is a new goodie that is included with some cars in Tesla's existing inventory, and that is EAP, or better known as Enhanced Autopilot. A few weeks ago, I mentioned that Tesla was reintroducing EAP in most places around the world, and now they're bringing the software feature to their cars in existing inventory. And as a refresher, EAP is giving you all the most useful features of full self-driving at a discounted price without some of that more futuristic, ambitious stuff that is the full self-driving beta. That means you're getting stuff like Summon, Smart Summon, Auto Lane Change, Navigate on Autopilot, and Auto Park for a grand total price of $6,000, which is still not insignificant, but it is half the price of the $12,000 full self-driving package. And of course, you can order EAP now from the Tesla app. You can sort of do an upgrade to the car you've got right now, or you can order this as a new option on the Tesla website when you configure your car, or if you're looking to buy an existing inventory car and get a Tesla much sooner, if you look at the config, you might be able to get EAP with your car, or even maybe get it added by Tesla as well, of course, if you're willing to jump through some hoops and roll the dice with those in control of the ever so sparse existing inventory lineup. All right, now I do have some good news to talk about in terms of new features and software updates, but first, let's just get the bad news out of the way right now. I guess the more controversial topic here, and talk about Tesla officially opening up their supercharging network to non-Tesla EVs. They have started to do this with pilot programs in different countries around the world, but now they have made a commitment here in the US that later this year, we're going to see a big change to supercharging stations. It was announced last week here in the US at least that later this year, Tesla will, quote, begin production of new supercharger equipment that will enable non-Tesla EV drivers in North America to use Tesla superchargers. Now, we'll get to the bigger point in a moment, but first off, it's still sort of unclear exactly how this implementation is going to work and what this new production of equipment means. North American EV charging standards are sort of all over the place. There's CCS, there's J1772, there's the Tesla plug. No one really has a defined standard, so we don't know how this is going to work. Is Tesla going to offer adapters that non-EV buyers can order online to then be able to, pull up and use just the regular old Tesla station? Are they going to have sort of dual cable stalls at certain places and now have maybe a CCS one end and Tesla on the other, and you can sort of pick which cable you want to use? Are they going to have just CCS stalls in addition to the Tesla stalls they've already got? Not exactly clear what the implementation is going to be, but it looks like some new supercharging equipment is coming to basically, like it suggests, open up the Tesla Supercharger Network to all EV drivers on the road right now and in the future. And honestly, I know that many Tesla owners right now don't care how this is implemented because they don't want this move to happen at all. That's because Teslas have gained in popularity so much, especially over the last year or two, that this incredible ecosystem of reliable charging and fast charging has been a great perk of the Tesla ownership experience, that you don't have to deal with charge points or EV Goes or whatever, Electrify America stations. You don't have to deal with any of that mess. You just know that Tesla has their supercharger network. It's in a lot of places around the world. It's pretty much always going to work and be, relatively affordable. It's been a nice perk to the Tesla ecosystem, and many worry that once Tesla opens this up, that it's going to become less of a perk and more of a burden for Tesla owners looking to charge, because stalls are going to be taken up more frequently. You're going to have to fight for access to supercharging stations. They're going to be more crowded. That is a very valid concern. I can tell you sort of anecdotally here from my personal experience here in SoCal, there are so many Teslas on the road right now that more often than not, I am always waiting at least 5 minutes at a supercharging station, no matter the number of stalls. I'm not talking on a road trip sort of destination. I'm not talking about major ones. There's even sort of small local superchargers are always being taken up because people are always looking to juice up and charge their cars. Granted, this is Southern California. There are a lot of people here that don't have home chargers, but I do think what we're seeing now more and more around the world, and what we're hearing from many people, is that supercharger stations are already busy enough as it is right now, and opening this up to non-Tesla EVs, and we're seeing more, non-Tesla EVs make their way on the road, that it's just going to create a mess and a nightmare and be more inconvenient than it is helpful. Maybe it makes Tesla look good because they're accelerating the move to electrification, and it makes them look good as they're opening up this system to others. But also, as a Tesla owner, I see the frustration as sort of losing a perk as to one of the reasons why you might have bought this car. So Are you for or against Tesla opening up their supercharger networks? Obviously, this move is already happening, but now it might be accelerated. Let me know your thoughts on whether this is a good thing or a bad thing in the comments down below. Next up, let's shift things a bit to talk about a little bit of a happier subject and talk all about new updates and new features that have just launched to all Teslas around the world. And Tesla is stealthily rolling out a couple of major improvements here and some bug fixes in this latest batch of software updates, including the ability now to have the green light chime on all Tesla models, no longer just limited to those cars that paid 10, 12, whatever ridiculous amount, thousands and thousands of dollars for the full self-driving system. And for those unaware of this feature, basically a part of the FSD system was this green light chime that, as the name suggests, would basically give you a little ding, a little chime when the light turns green. Obviously, in all Teslas with modern Autopilot hardware, you can see the light colors, red, yellow, green, but with this little chime, you can sort of be notified as to when the light turns green and when you should go. Some people could care less about this. They really don't care. Others really like it. But if you were curious as to why it was just with full self-driving, we don't know. But now it is available to everyone regardless of FSD status. So whether you've got full self-driving, enhanced autopilot, or basic autopilot, everyone is going to get access to this green light chime in this latest batch of software updates coming to your car very soon. Another really nice, highly requested feature that is finally here now, and it's really nice to see, is the new navigation state of charge. Basically, to see what your range would be when you arrived at a destination before, you had to scroll all the way down through the directions to the very bottom to see what your level of charge would be when you arrived, and then also to see what it'd be when you returned back to your place of origin. But now it is much more clearly laid out right at the top of the card, so when you put in your destination right alongside the time of when you're going to arrive, you now see the state of charge of your battery when you arrive to your destination. It's the little things here that are a really big deal. This is one of those things that I was personally frustrated about. I know many of you guys were as well. And now Tesla's fixed this. They're refining the version 11 experience. And now you can see this really important piece of critical info right at the top of your navigation status. Another new feature added that is a good feature or not so good feature, depending on your stance here, according to Green the Only, is that Tesla is now using the interior cabin camera to sort of nanny you and nag you if you're not paying attention on autopilot. Now, this feature of using the cabin camera to watch you when you're on any sort of driver assistance was exclusively, as far as I know, just being used by those who opted into the FSD beta. That if you use the FSD beta, you were giving Tesla access to that in-cabin camera to make sure you were paying attention. And if you were looking down, taking your eyes off the road or looking at your phone, the camera would recognize that and sort of nag you or eventually would kick you out of using the full self-driving system. It's a safety feature here that was really nice to see. But now it looks like Tesla is beginning to expand this use from just being used with the full self-driving beta to everybody using any form of driver assistance, including, basic autopilot. Now, this can be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on how much attention you're paying to the road. It has been nice, I noticed from my time in the FSD beta, that if you were paying attention and doing what you're supposed to be doing, the car was less naggy on making sure you touched the wheel or applied a number of force or, hit a button, that the camera knew you were paying attention and the car was less naggy. On the other hand, for those concerned about privacy and sort of Tesla having access to this in-cabin camera, first off, it's already sort of there and you can opt out in software, but who really knows what's happening with that? But now with this new limitation, there might not be a way to get around it. What many people found with the FSD beta was that if you covered that camera, if it had any sort of obstruction, that you were not able to use that full self-driving system. Not sure if Tesla's going to be as strict with that with autopilot, that you're going to have to opt in and use it. But for those who are privacy conscious and who, value their security and their privacy, this is something to sort of know and sort of have on your radar that might be rolling out to more cars very soon. Just unclear how aggressive Tesla is going to be with implementing this feature to everyone or not, if they're going to sort of let it gradually roll out as an optional feature for now. Next up here, I want to talk about a weird sort of Tesla conspiracy theory that has been popping up in my comments down below, and one that's really interesting to me, and I want to know if it's true or not, depending on what you guys happen to know, and that is owners of Teslas ordering and taking delivery after the self-imposed deadline of having the charging cables being removed are actually getting charging cables with their car. I'm not sure if this is happening to a lot of people or not. I've seen a couple of Reddit threads on people who have had the same experience that didn't think they were going to get the charging cable, didn't pay for it, but sure enough, the mobile connector was there. I'm not sure if this is sort of a state-by-state thing or a status-by-status thing, or maybe Tesla is quietly sort of backtracking a bit and adding the mobile connectors back into the car. But whatever the case may be, be. It is super exciting to see this happen to at least some people, because I still, personally, I don't agree with that, the decision. I don't agree they should have removed it from the car to begin with, especially for new owners, and this would be a nice thing to see. Tesla's official stance is they haven't changed anything at all. You can still sort of see on the Tesla ordering webpage that you've got to buy the mobile connector or the wall connector separately. And I'm curious for you guys, if you have had this experience yourself, if you have ordered after the April-ish deadline and taken delivery, did you get the charging mobile connector kit with your car, yes or no? And have you heard of anything about this from others in the communities? Is this a thing or not? Now, again, I'm not sure if this is happening or not. Maybe it's just sort of a fluke, but I've seen, like I said, multiple comments from people who said, hey, I don't know what you're talking about. I got the mobile connector with my car. That is, of course, the cable and the wall connector part that plugs into the wall. And I'm assuming the J1772 adapter as well. So if you guys have any info on this, let me know down below, because I'm curious to see if there's any change happening behind the scenes in the wild, ever so crazy world of Tesla. All right, guys, and that is going to do it for me in this video. As always, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think that Tesla is doing some good moves with the software update? Are you excited for the green light chime? What other software fixes and improvements would you like to see? Also, your thoughts on opening the Supercharger Network. It's very controversial. Is that a thumbs up or a thumbs down? Your thoughts on the the robo van that Elon sort of teased? I didn't really get into it much here, but do you have thoughts on that? I'll talk about that in another episode. And just sort of the status of Tesla in general. Are you happy? Are you sad? Are you mad? Did you order a new Tesla? Let me know your thoughts down below on all that stuff and more. As always, I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much. I'm Robert Rosenfeld, and I'll see you all in the next one.